Right, I'm taking the audience.
And then you have to turn the camera around to show you.
Okay.
Does Sandy count as part of the audience?
I'm an audience member too.
Okay, I'm gonna go and sit to record. Okay.
All right. Earlier this year, the Southern Poverty Law Center sued the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Public School Safety Commission because the meeting adjourned early, preventing students to give public comment during the public forum time, which angered many students because their student voice was violated. Students have intelligence and creativity that need to be more recognized in the education system. According to AmericanProgress.org, students have little to no say in the education system right now. And engagement drops as children age. According to fifth graders, they were engaged in a survey for fifth graders, they were three quarters of them were engaged in their education system. That number dropped to half when it came to middle school, and then it dropped to 33% or a third when it came to high school. In the recent era, youth activism has been on such a rise because there's been letters to legislators to improve the school prison pipeline, and Voices of Youth of Chicago advocate for better disciplinary policies outlined in Senate Bill 100 in the state of Illinois. And also, March for Our Lives has been very prominent in advocating for reducing gun violence and advocating for better gun safety measures in 2018-2019. So, with all of these events happening in our world, let students sit as voting members on school boards. And with that, legislators should pass legislation enabling students to serve as student members on school boards of education with voting rights. According to the Michigan Association of School Boards, having a student vote can improve student performance, and according to a Harvard study, it can help basic academic skills improve. According to a Quaglia study, students are 7 times more likely to be motivated in academics and also 8 times more engaged if student policy making is elevated. With that, students can provide good influence. Connection is refreshing and rewarding, according to Julia Schumacher, who's a school board member of the Dexter Community School District. And also, according to Superintendent Timmis of that school district, students can provide lots of insight. And with that, multiple perspectives can tackle very complex issues in the education system. So this sounds awesome, but how can this be accomplished? There needs to be a need to fix this engagement, which is what a student vote can do on school boards. This allows for more school-friendly policies because students have the in and knowing what's going on in their school system to help out benefit their students. And for example, this has been very evident when the Anne Arundel County School Board member, who's the only student who had full voting rights in the country, was able to spearhead a policy to eliminate class rank. And with that, she gathered her students and convinced her colleagues to eliminate class rank in a 5-4 vote. I also have experience with elevating student voice as well. During my junior and senior year, I worked with the Maryland Center of School Safety. And with that, I started as a non-voting student liaison at the school safety meetings and just listening and giving my report at the end of the meeting, but I couldn't vote. Well, after the Maryland Safe to Learn Act was passed, my voting right was elevated from non-voting to full voting rights on a newly formed school safety advisory board because the adults understood the need for a better student voice, and they understood the impact and gravity that it had with policymaking decisions. And with that, I also discussed with my executive director to have a student advisory board within the Maryland Center for School Safety because students had such a valuable perspective. And I was able to talk with my successor, and she was able to successfully implement that this year. So the process on how to do this. First off, engage parents and educators, start that grassroots system, because once you have that together, it's going to be so powerful when you go talk to your school boards and also to legislators. So then you talk to your school board members, hopefully in public comment, but also outside of school board meetings if possible, and writing emails. And then after that, make sure you contact your state legislator because they are responsible for writing that policy in order for students to have voting rights on school boards. And make sure you stay on top of the bill progress as well during that time and adjusting your strategy in case something does happen along the legislative process. Student voice can help create lasting and positive change. And for the action step, I'm attaching my email on the reply of the discussion, so you can send me an email for any questions or advice that can provide more in depth to help you with the process and making sure that students have better voting rights and more voice on school board systems. So with that, students on school boards can improve education policy and officially recognize a student voice as a powerful decision maker within education systems, and also can make beneficial policies and programs to enhance the lives of not just students, but parents, teachers, and the school community outside to benefit to the best of their ability. So with that, use your voices to help make great choices. And thank you.